recently, and it's good to see kind of like a Mario brother take some representation back. Eddy, of course, a very well-known player in his own right, but here we go for game one. The stage is Battlefield.
Hey, yeah, so with this matchup, one of the things, I kind of was alluding to earlier is Luigi in general is kind of a very grounded character, partially because of his wave dash being one of his strongest tools, but also his down B. And Falco can use a retreating down air to really easily zone that out. And beautiful shine off the top, by the way.
Can also just use the shine to kill him quite early. Magic % lead for Brandon here. And it's interesting to note, yeah, of course, he has Luigi has really strong burst movement out of the wave dash, but it seems like Falco just as a matchup can be really challenging at times because Falco can just shut down a lot of avenues of approach for the Luigi.
No, absolutely. It definitely is tricky. So, yeah, the one thing that Luigi really has, though, is a very, very, very solid punish game on Falco, and just kind of what sort of every good character has. If you can't punish Falco properly, kind of what can you do, right? So we're about to see a big opener right now.
Yeah, not following the tech away quite yet, but big damage still nonetheless. Actually off stage, going to take the stock too. Too far to recover. Brandon just going to fall to the depths of the earth, losing the advantage that he once had just a second ago.
Yeah, and I do think, like you're alluding to, positioning kind of in particular is a huge advantage as well in this matchup. Just really looking for kind of controlling center stage if you can, and big edge guard opportunity right now. Doesn't want to get clipped by the up B, and doesn't, thankfully.
Yeah, really tricky recovery out of Eddy Mexico in a character that it feels like you can kind of play it very linearly. Makes it work, gets an extra 24% out of the stock before he goes down. 2 stocks apiece, but here comes Brandon with the punish.
For sure. I am just having a bit of sound issue, so if that's why my focus is a little bit pulled away. I'm not really sure, but your sound has been all distorted, and it seems to be on my end. But still able to see the feed. Hopefully you guys can hear me fine, and this has been about as even as you expected. Very, very close game so far.
Yeah, back and forth. Grab, you reach, I teach. That's something that Brandon preaches in his own chat. Eddy Mexico looking for the shield grab. That'll never work against the Falco.
Yeah, definitely, if you are mixing up your shield pressure well, it is very, very hard to clip him, and does get the back air for the kill. So looking to get some extra credit and not get opened up by moves like down B, but is he going to get an edge guard from here?
I think he wanted to do rising down air to cover the platform, or maybe he was hard reading there. What's the punish here? Shoryuken. Let's go.
Ooh. Yeah, always love to see that up B pretty much in any capacity. It just has the same kind of flair that Puff's Arrest does, but in a very different way. Oh my god, the spacing there just barely around the grab. It manages to get a clean 27%, but is that going to be huge?
Yeah, forces the tech there, and he has to exhaust the jump. Catches with the fireball. That's huge. Oh, the miss.
I actually think that he didn't think it would hit either, and that's why he wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, 2 in a row, though, on those fireballs. I think just really kind of catching on to Brandon's choice of jump back into the up B, and Eddy clutches that one out. It really looked like Brandon was going to turn the corner on it.
No, absolutely. And now we go back to the conversation of counterpicks. Where are we going to see Eddy Mexico go?
Oh, okay. All right.
Got a cat.
Eddy looking a little different these days, but, still playing some solid melee nonetheless. And I guess the question is, where are we going to go? I was prepared for that answer if Brandon was going to take it. Again, big counter pick that Eddy Mexico likes to go to is Final Destination, but I wanted to raise the question of FD as a counter pick against a Falco. You got to wonder, but Yoshi's is the pick here.
I do think in this particular matchup, FD is not a stage that Falco wants to go to. Obviously, he can use the space to leverage the lasers, but Luigi's punish game just becomes a lot more powerful, and particularly like I was mentioning earlier about his kind of emphasis on the ground game. When you don't have those platforms to escape to, that's what Luigi wants. So I'm not surprised to see us not go to FD to some degree, but if he doesn't have a ban, you figure we would see it at some point.
Yeah, you know, I kind of wonder what the positional advantage looks like on the Falco side. Not quite able to get it, just dinks him for a coin. And Brandon says, give me my lunch money back. Not quite there. Advantage going to Homemade Waffles here. 100% though, just a big aerial out of Eddy Mexico is probably enough to do it on this stage.
Yeah, you know, so far I have really been impressed with Homemade Waffles spacing. I think that, you know, it's really small things that like might be hard to pick up on, where he's just playing around grab range. Look at that down throw F smash, really great DI mix up there. But yeah, he's been playing around a lot of kind of Luigi's threat ranges in a very sophisticated way, but should get the shine. Oh, just barely doesn't get it.
Yeah, maybe not confident enough that he could get the double shine, so just looks for the up air instead. Perhaps a bit less committal going to the skies there. He could just grab ledge.
Yeah, and you know, so much of this matchup that I haven't really spoken about yet is actually really converting on the edge guard.
Tech.
Beautiful tech, by the way.
Nice tech again.
God. He keeps
And
getting
he's got
these.
Randall this time. Oh,
But
half
Brandon,
second.
he
And
adapts, right? He goes to the ledge. He makes it so that it doesn't matter if you have great techs. You just can't get it.
wow, power shield grab doesn't actually help him all that much. He could have probably gotten just power shield down smash, and Brandon wouldn't have been ready for that. But Eddy Mexico just making it work, especially off the missed tech there. And he's just like, what is his percentage accuracy for these jump fireballs that he's catching a jump away into Firebird out of Homemade Waffles?
Yeah, really calling out the side B so effectively. You know, so often you kind of have to like weigh your options, position yourself to cover like maybe one or two options. Eddy's not doing that. Eddy's going, you're gonna side B and I'm gonna kill you for it. And it's been working out.
Yeah, Homemade Waffles again with the percent lead though, but you know, when you get a Shoryuken like that, you gotta be pretty hyped up for the Luigi player for at least a second. Homemade Waffles picks up the stock right there, but let's see if Eddy Mexico can bring it back with one of those insane extended conversions that we've been seeing throughout this set.
You know, I really think that Brandon's defense, has been very solid. You know, Eddy Mexico has been getting a lot of like random stray hits, and they haven't been leading to that much because of his defensive choices so far.
Yeah, Eddy Mexico looking for forward to. Oh no! Okay, I thought he had another stock. I got so scared, Radar. Oh.
That's kind of a random sort of like just a hot habit, I guess. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm watching it back just on the stream delay right now, and it looks like that set base or the game, excuse me, basically ended there. Eddy Mexico looking to trade forward air with Brandon, potentially just anti-air him with that. That doesn't work against Falco Dare. It's just too good, man. You said it earlier. Disjointed as heck. Just can do it all.
No, absolutely. And we are seeing FD as a counter pick. Not surprised by that. One thing that I thought was kind of interesting is oftentimes young Waff would opt for the up air rather than the shine, which does kind of have some pros and cons. It has a bit more vertical range, but you can SDI it in the same way that you can SDI Fox's up throw up air. Not something we see as often, but they both have 2 hits. So that is something that kind of might be worth like looking into defensively for Eddy Mexico to counter against.
Yeah, and kind of a bit of a playstyle and pacing change out of Homemade Waffles is what I would at least expect to see on this stage, without any platforms to escape to, kind of linearize the recovery, linearize the neutral, and make it really damn hard to go in. And then just looking to maybe take to the gun and pick and choose his spots more carefully in this set.
Have you seen that clip? It was like a couple summits ago where Mewtwo King did the IRL Luigi side B, where he just like jumps. Every time
I've used it in many a video.
I cannot stop thinking about that whenever I see Luigi. It's very silly looking. But going back to the match, one of the things I really like from Brandon that I've been seeing is that he's been kind of, like you said, slowing it down a little bit, really trying to play the stage control game. And wow, once again, an up B from Eddy Mexico.
Sky uppercut. Plenty of PP left. Eddy Mexico all day.
No, for sure. And by playing that kind of more patient game, he takes away some of the kind of natural advantages that Luigi has in the punish game by sort of having to give up the space and let Falco control the space better.
Exactly, Ritter. And that's kind of the question I wanted to pose to you when we were talking about the game 2 counter pick was, as the Falco, of course, you get chain grab, you get punished pretty damn hard against Luigi, and we saw it, case in point right there, just really makes the up B Shoryuken really, really easy to find a lot of the times if he recovers on stage. But as the Falco, you can really lock down Luigi super hard, and if he can't unlock that movement, what can he do?
Yeah, no, I think there are some like it's sort of the classic FT story, right? It makes things like very, very anything that sort of like it enhances things in either direction. So if neutral is kind of favored for Falco, it becomes even more favored. If punish is kind of favored for a certain character, it becomes even more favored. But one of the problems with Falco on this stage, I would say, is the platforms do help him in the punish side of things as well a lot. He's able to do some of the combos that we saw on Yoshi's where he's like up airing off the top, where he's kind of wave landing to the platforms. And Luigi doesn't really suffer from that in the same way. He doesn't mind if he's on the ground. And so I think that's kind of one of the reasons why we saw this counter pick in the first place and why it has a bit of an advantage.
In fact, I think Eddy Mexico wanted to keep his feet glued to the ground for the last 30 seconds or so. Picked up 63%, as a result. Forward edge guard, like though, for homemade waffles.
We are back to even stocks. It's still anyone's game. Waff in the corner, but trying to make it out. Luigi not making it easier for him.
Nice crouch. So smart. Oh my gosh. Yeah, just micro spacing on that crouch. A lot of the times that won't work too, which is really impressive that Eddy Mexico kind of figured that out. Could have just been looking for the ASDI down plus CC either way, but looked kind of cool nonetheless.
Just barely gets grabbed there, and this could be big damage. Goes for the side B, and he's not ready with the up B in that moment. Just doesn't space around the get up attack, and this could be the game.
Oh, he is a Shoto. He's a Shoto.
I saw that conversation going on in the chat. That has been the hot topic for the last week, and he's proven us correct, right? That is some Shoto stuff if I've ever seen it. The amount of up Bs he has got in this set is kind of crazy.
Yeah, super, super good stuff out of Eddy Mexico, going up 2-1 in the set here. And Homemade Waffles needs to make some adjustments. We got a bit of a Red Bull replay I believe we'll be seeing in the interim. But here comes the stock again.
In this clip, the star looks like it's the up B, but the tilt that he does right here,
it's amazing. It is amazing.
Very, very good.
And the only thing that Brandon can do there is mid shorten, right?
Yeah, or try to smash DI in and tech, I think. Otherwise, not really anything that he has in terms of counterplay. It's a very, very, very solid option.
Yeah. Solid options coming out of Homemade Waffles, though, for Game 4. Fighting back with a vengeance, 104% lead, but Eddy Mexico makes it back, and that is a dangerous position to be in. You got to wrap those stocks up as soon as you can.
Wrap it up, he will, and now he is up a solid stock, and 45%, not a ton of damage, but it's enough to make crouch cancel less on the table for a lot of options. Not that that's always a concern with Falco. If Falco's in the air and he gets clipped by something from Luigi, he can easily get opened up, but still, that is what Eddy Mexico wants, is to not be afraid of crouch cancel at all.
Yeah, Eddy looking for the edge cancel on the missile, not quite able to get it, but grabs ledge regardless, and that's a huge positional win for the Luigi. Brandon is just keeping the pressure on strong, actually clips him with the missile. Yeah, that's not something you're used to seeing. Oh, I love these DI mix-ups. Going for the down throw, you're thinking maybe he's doing back throw. I guess he'll DI in and gets the stock because of that. But, Brandon has a clean lead here. If he can do something like laser F tilt, knock him off stage, take laser down tilt, also a great option, punishes him for going for a grab there. And now he has a clean stock lead. This is looking pretty good if you're a Falco fan here. Yeah, huge advantage going to Homemade Waffles. And again, the platform movement is just coming into full effect. What we had mentioned in the previous counter pick on FD, really just giving Falco a lot of room to move around and kind of explore some movement options, shut down those avenues of approach, and kind of block out the Luigi as much as he can in the skies.
I say this just as he misspaces Nair there, but some of Brandon's aerial drift has made him look like he's like a Jigglypuff main. He'll do these nairs and he'll pull back and drift like a full kind of space away from the shield so that he punishes Eddie Mexico's shield options. And the spacing, to do that, it's very, very precise. So really good stuff from young Waff here.
Yeah, insane patience on that too. I feel like so many Falcos would pull the trigger early and just look for another aerial to push off stage. Brandon waits for the tech on the right platform, pushes Eddie Mexico off the left side of the stage, and he's going to wrap up the stock. Huge advantage going to Brandon. We're trying to make another game 5 here, Radar.
Yeah, he is really controlling this game, and it's really showing, I think, how the platforms affect the matchup. Being able to retreat to the platforms in the moment where, Luigi is wave dashing at you like at a, supersonic speed, like he's coming so close, and being able to retreat to the platform really, really, really helps.
Yeah, we need like a Dark Gen X meme of like POV Luigi is wave dashing at you at 0 or something, because that's just been the story of the game, of course. I mean, and if you have the tool, why not use it, especially when you're playing a mid-tier like that?
Yeah, it is absolutely terrifying. Like, for all of Luigi's faults, and let me tell you, he has a lot of them, it can be scary when he's just yippieing around the stage, smacking you one way, left, right. You're just not sure which direction you're going, and I really admire young Waff's composure to not fall victim to that kind of pacing.
Yeah, he's playing this game 4 really, really solid. I think this is just all but his game to lose at this point. But Eddie Mexico making a case right now, potentially making this a 1-stock game, and succeeds with the stock conversion. 1 stock high percent. Brandon just needs to find a really strong aerial to take this game and bring it to a game 5.
Like that, Brandon is staying pretty disciplined in the corner. He's not trying to force something. We saw Eddie Mexico looking for like a grab imp there, and if he can get this edge guard, we'll be taking it to a game 5. But
yeah,
again,
just run center. So I guess you don't want to get clipped with like up air, rising up air, any type of missile shenanigans. Just kind of wait it out. You're gonna win in neutral. Keep doing your thing.
However, with all that being said, sometimes you play too passive. You have an opportunity where you can pressure them off stage. You think to yourself, I don't want to die at 0, but also you want to get the kills when you can. You don't want to give him an opportunity in the other direction by letting him come back on stage. So it's a tricky balance. It's very scary to be Falco in this situation.
I can see it, Radar, and I think it does feel like he's going to pick it up there, but it did feel like maybe a little bit of nerves was kicking in. I saw the big thing that I noticed was Eddie shot a fireball at Homemade Waffles, and he was at like 30, and Brandon just ran across the stage just to not let a conversion happen from that. But nonetheless, we're going to be taking this to a game 5 with Eddie Mexico's counterpick. FD is off the table, and we're going to see a run back over to Battlefield to wrap up this set.
Good to see that we're going back to Battlefield. I think that'll be a very kind of balanced game. It's funny, we really have been seeing a lot of game 5s, and this is probably the one I'm least surprised to see. Both of these players, everyone knows, we know that they're more than capable, and so I'm not surprised to see them take it to a game 5, but who do you think is going to take it? Well, I'm not really sure.
It's been so back and forth, Radar. It's really, really hard to say for sure. I really can't give a good prediction here. I mean, I have some strong biases for the Mario Bros. You know this from most of our blocks, but Homemade Waffles is the homie, man. It's hard to root against either of these guys. They're both just playing super great melee.
Yeah, definitely I cannot stress enough how well they're both playing. I think if young Waff is able to keep the stage control and pressure out Eddy on the side. Oh, it looks like we're actually going to be going to Pokemon Stadium.
Okay.
And, so an interesting change between Battlefield and Stadium here is, yes, you're going to be killing at earlier percentages. We're going to be seeing those kind of down tilts that Homemade Waffles has been using kill even earlier. But one of Falco's strongest tools, pretty much in any floaty matchup, is that top platform. His full hop is super fast. He gets there really quick, and it's just a get off of me option, and that's gone on Stadium. So that's probably what Eddy is thinking.
Yeah, and I guess if you can't pick FD, you pick the next best thing, which has only 2 platforms instead of 3. Either that or FOD would have kind of been the rationale, I think, if you're looking for the least number of platforms at times. But game 5, going over to Pokemon Stadium, Eddie Mexico versus Homemade Waffles. This one is going to be a top 16 qualifier.
Ooh, yeah, now this stage is scary. You know, there are some benefits from Falco's end. You know, he has some room to move around, to laser, to control space. But I don't even think the platforms really hurt Luigi. Like we saw Eddy go to FD first, but like you said, this is kind of a mini FD. The platforms are small. You can reaction tech chase on them. It is tricky if you are a spacey. You do not want to die that quickly.
Yeah, and we see kind of a similar trend kicking in from the end of game 4 to the start of the game 5 here. Brandon just playing this very, very patient, trying to find his spots, take the laser confirm, get the opening, and see if he can build on damage to ultimately result in that stock. Eddy Mexico just says, I want to blow you up as soon as I can.
Oh my God, and speaking of blow you up, I saw him wave dash back, and I guess, you know, I'm developing some Falco trauma, because I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna up B and kill him again. Like, it's burned into my brain, Walt. I keep seeing these crazy conversions, and, you know, I can't help but root for the Falco players, man. It's just, you know, you gotta support your boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Fireball to cover. Brandon has to put up the shield. Eddy Mexico lives to see another day, but messes up on the movement a little bit there. Not quite going to die, but in a little bit of a precarious situation.
Well, that was like the best DI I've seen all day. Like, that was...
What was he at, like 140 with a back air?
But Brandon answers me back and says, like, yo, I'm going to slide off on a down smash, which you've probably never seen before, and goes for the tech there.
Crazy. Yeah, Eddy just gets a power shield on the laser and then just holds shield and waits for Brandon to kind of drift in to get the shield grab confirm. Weak hit back air, not quite going to do it, but this has got to be it soon.
Yeah, okay. 95%, quite a bit. Any strong hit will knock Falco off stage, and then it just, you know, it's all about the edge guarding. But, you know, we've seen from time and time again that Brandon's been able to take it back, but he does corner himself there, and that really hurting him.
Spacey, though, at that percent, he might have been looking for maybe... I don't really know if there's any type of follow-up he could have gotten, so it's kind of the best choice he has. Straight up angle, though, is going to take the stock a little bit earlier, perhaps.
Yeah, you know, Brandon not able to sort of turn it around there. I think he was going for like a really steep angle. I've gone for that many times myself. It like, if you miss it just even the slightest, then you die, like what we saw. But he kind of needed to do that to get back. So he just keeps finding himself in the corner, and that's something that he really needs to prevent if he wants to be able to take this set. Ooh, goes for the side B off the ledge. Not an option you see that much anymore.
Again, yeah. You know, for as much as we've kind of sung the praises of Eddy Mexico hitting like 100% accuracy on his fireballs, he's been like 0% on forward tilts by the ledge.
Yeah, the only tilt he really got of note is that down tilt earlier when he did the up B, but is he going to go to the ledge here? No, he's been going straight a lot. Straight and then ledge is kind of the pattern that Eddy Mexico might be picking up on.
Ooh. A shield drop forward are going to bring Brandon down to his final stock of the winner side bracket. Again, just a reminder, this is a top 16 qualifier. Very huge bracket position here. Homemade Waffles answers back, but he's got a mountain to climb.
Whenever we watch a floaty matchup, especially, you know, against a spacey, it's tricky because you know the spacey can turn it around, but they don't have that explosive punish that, like, if the situation was reversed and Luigi was the one coming back. So hope we can see a turnaround here if you're a Brandon fan, but this is rough, man. It's definitely an uphill battle. Ooh.
Yep. Oh, if that back air connected too, that could have spelled the beginning of something great. Again, corner pressure, though, out of Homemade Waffles, just going to get right back onto the center logo here. Does not want to mess by the ledge at all.
Ooh, that fireball clips them, and just, you know, the fireballs, it's funny because they're not really a projectile that's sort of like that great in the game, especially compared to something like Falco's lasers, Sheik's needles, even Dr. Mario's pills.
Look at that pressure. Oh my gosh. All point blank lasers, and then just finds the down tilt off of the shield stab. Last stop game 5, Radar.
It just keeps happening, man. We just keep getting these. Oh, that's big damage. Really big damage. He's turning it around as we speak.
The double jump into landing down air is so precarious to get into. Homemade Waffles in recovery position. He misses the shot.
In the most crucial moment, he misses it, but he clips it with the down air anyway.
Eddy Mexico takes it. Holy moly. I can't believe it. And it looks, again, it just felt like Homemade Waffles turning the corner there, trying to stem the bleeding, was able to do so, and then some, and then catches himself in probably one of Luigi's favorite positions when he gets to rub his hands together and say, yeah, well, you're going to trade with me. I'm going to throw an aerial out, and you're gonna run into it.
You are absolutely right. Luigi kind of known for some really fast frame data. And that is kind of what we saw there. I'm just watching the replay on the delay for the stream, just trying to get a better idea of like what went down in those kind of final moments. Seeing kind of Waff off stage here, just barely missing the up B. And yeah, I think he just didn't mean to down air there. It's tricky.